Oh, good evening, everybody. Something weird and wonderful has been going on with my YouTube today, so let's all being well, should be coming through loud and clear on the live stream. So it is Thursday, the 5th of May 2022. So welcome to RJH live stream. Tonight, all about new rider top tips. That's the subject. So let's see how it goes. So everybody getting this through okay? Because it's for some reason been a little bit odd, and it doesn't look like it's coming through on the other one. Anyway. Evening, Dave Smith, and good evening, Andy Davis. Everything okay? All coming through on the YouTube live stream on the channel? Yep. Wednesday, 5th of May. God, crikey, time is racing away. 2022. Tonight's live stream all about new rider top tips. So before we get going, weather's fantastic. Lots of people getting in onto two wheels. So well done, Team RJH. Yep. So tasters, CBTs, Mod 1s, Mod 2s, instructor training and advanced refreshers. Back to biking. Working really, really hard behind the scenes. And a big congratulations to all those trainees that have been coming in and choosing RJH. So well done. So somebody's saying it's frozen. What I might do, I think, is just have a little try here. I think I know what might be going on. Let's see if I can just do this and try these things. Gotta try them. Freezing 7 times, so I know what's going on. Let me just sort this out then. Do apologise, ladies and gents. Let's get rid of something I've got going on in the back. So let's take that off. Yeah, take that off, take that off. Right, let's see what happens with that. I've got something going on in the background, which is probably not the best thing to be doing, but anyway. See how we go with that. Welcome. So, all being well, that is unclogged it. Unclogged it, should be back to normal. So the key is don't try and upload a video to YouTube whilst doing a live stream because it takes too much bandwidth, is it called? Technical term, bandwidth. So back to it then, live stream, all about new rider top tips. So that's what we want to be looking at tonight. Also, get 100 viewers on the live stream at the same time. We will open that competition. Free CBT. So if anybody's thinking of getting onto 2 wheels, I want to give it away as a gift, then that's pretty good. And because that's what we do, we try and give you a few incentives. So competition as per 100 viewers at one time. Question will come in. First correct answer wins a free CBT. And yeah, I think the record was 62. I think we have had 62 at the same time. So all coming through loud and clear now. That's better. Thank you, Dave. Trying to upload a video at the same time as the live stream. Not a good idea. Lesson learned. Lesson learned. So new rider top tips. So most of our viewers, I would say, are new riders, because that's what we do. We introduce people into the exciting world of motorcycling. I do get a few that have been watching it for a few years. What's a new rider? What do we class as a new rider? Is it somebody that's learning? Is it somebody that's passed their tests? Is it somebody that's been riding for a year or two? At what point do we say that we're not a new rider? Well, it's a bit like how long is a piece of string? So I suppose this video would be beneficial to any rider coming back into biking after a few years out. So yeah, new rider, that's the subject. New rider. 10 people watching, so please do comment away, introduce yourself, let us know who you are, where you're from. Press that like button. It really, really does help. I have a little friend with me today. Tonight I have a little friend, Millie. She's lying down by my side. She's nice and quiet, so she may come and say hello in a bit. We'll see how we go. Yeah, so top tips for new riders. So I've got a few bits and bobs here, but please do contribute. Please do pass on your advice. And, you know, because we've all got tips. We've all got tips that we can pass on to the viewers. New rider. I think for me, one of the probably the top pieces of advice that I would start off with, I'm going to write these down as I go along so I don't forget. One of my top tips is for a new rider about your attitude, because people don't, coming from a car and onto a bike, you don't appreciate how attitude on the roads and the effects of good attitude, bad attitude. Evening to Mr. John Little. Thank you for joining us, John. Tonight all about new rider top tips. So anybody on it on the chat room, please do comment away. New rider top tips. That's what it is about. So we've got Andy, Dave, and John. Andy, Dave, and John in the chat room. Chat room quiet. Let's get a few more people in that chat room. The only way we get more people in that chat room is to comment away. Comment away, like the video. The YouTube algorithms then spread it out. Spread it out to a bigger audience. And generally find 5 or 10 minutes in, it tends to sort of spread its wings a little bit. So the first 5 or 10 minutes generally is quite, yeah. So number one, I think number one for me, for a new rider, don't know whether I would be considered to be a new rider. I first got on a motorbike in the summer of 1972. So this summer, school holidays, this year in the school holidays, that was me 50 years ago. My first go on a motorbike, and that was a Honda C90. So maybe new rider top tips wouldn't be beneficial to me, but hey, open to learning, opening to learning. And, you know, so number one, stay calm. Attitude. Stay calm. Stay relaxed. Stay calm, stay relaxed. Enjoy it, and yeah, stay calm and stay relaxed. Don't let situations don't let situations lead to conflict. And on a bike, I would say that you don't want to go and get on your bike if you're on a bad day. So if you've had a row at home, if you're not feeling good with your health, don't go on your bike. You want to be in tip-top physical, mental condition. Yeah, real important top tips. Good evening to you, Liam, Stoke-on-Trent. So yeah, attitude and your own well-being. So attitude really important. If you're angry, if you're feeling like you want to punch an hole in the wall because you just had a row with the missus or whatever at home, or your partner at home, do not go on your bike. That would be the biggest top tip. Biggest top tip. Evening to you, Andy. Andy Buck. Evening, gentlemen. I've got Mod 2 at the end of the month. Fingers crossed. Good man, Mod 2. Lots of videos on this on the YouTube channel, live streams and so on. Today I videoed a young man came down from Skelmersdale to Manchester. He was with me for 3 hours. Follows us on the YouTube channel. And he said, I'm glad I do. You're on the YouTube. Yeah, that was me. So thought, okay, well done. So we've got a bit of a fan, an RJH super fan. Came down, first 3 hours, first time on a 650, all Mod 1, slow speed manoeuvres, test standard. I videoed it. I was uploading it, but the live stream wasn't working at the same time as load. It's taken up, so I'll finish my live stream and then I will upload it. So Anthony from Skelmersdale, your video will be on YouTube at some point later. As soon as I finish the live stream, I will upload it. And yeah, so I think that's important. Your attitude, your own attitude, your own health, your well-being, and if you're tired, don't go on your bike. And really, really important. Good evening to Phil Prescott. Hi Rob, completed CBT with Sophie at Runcorn this week. She's a credit to you. Unsure of my next step, ride on CBT at the risk of developing bad habits, but get more confident, or straight into DAS. Right, so what did Sophie tell you, Phil? There's no right or wrong way. Get a 125, get some experience, yep. But if you took to it nicely, or if you've ridden before, get straight on a big bike. You get a 125, you outgrow them very, very quickly. And yet, as you say, bad habits. So I would certainly say, if you took to your CBT nicely, or you've ridden before, get straight in for your DAS. Get straight in for your full license, and we can get you done very, very quickly. Charlie, if he's not contacted you already, he should do, because he does follow up with all CBTs. Ben Quidgley, good evening to you. Welcome to the live stream, everyone. 12 people watching at the moment. Bit of activity in the chat room. Please do like the video, ladies and gents. It really does help. John Little, yeah. Well, listen. Some motorcyclists do get into it for the speed. You just listen. You've got a duty of care to yourself. I'm not a speed freak. Take it nice and steady. But yeah, there is. Listen, lots of people, lots of bikers will get into it for the speed. Keep the speed for the tracks. Keep the speed for the tracks. So yeah, attitude. So was that sort of important, isn't it? Keep yourself calm, relaxed, enjoy your ride. Make sure you're physically and mentally fit. If you're feeling unwell, don't go on the bike. And also, yeah, if you've had a bad news, or If you've had a row at home, don't go on your bike. You need to be tip-top condition. That would be my number one tip for new riders. So, does anybody want to add anything to that? Evening to Charles. Good evening, Charles. Thank you for joining us. So that would be my number one tip. That would be my number one tip. Good evening to you, Cedric. Good evening. Thank you for joining the live stream. First time on the live stream, don't recognise that name. Where did you stumble across us? Yeah, what journey? Where are you? Are you full license? You've CBT? You've just learning? Comment away, comment away, comment away. Liam's not on commission, by the way, but yes, well done, Liam. Yeah, if you sort of benefiting from the videos from afar, we do welcome the Google reviews. We do welcome the Google reviews. Hi, Charles. How are you? Andy, yeah, gear. So that is my number two. So my number one is personal. How you feel, your attitude, your health, your fitness, your well-being. Number two is your gear. For me, number two is what you choose to wear. And of course, legally, it's the helmet, isn't it? So there's a lot of neglect on the gear. So what I would say is everybody's got a J&S Accessories close to them. We have a good relationship with J&S Accessories at Northwich. We've got a school on site, but they've got 30 stores nationwide. So J&S Accessories will be able to go through everything with the helmets, gloves, jackets, trousers, boots, everything. So, the right gear for the right conditions. And think of those three key objectives, and that is to keep you protected and keep you warm and keep you dry. So protection, keep warm and keep dry. So that would be my number two gear. That would be my number two gear, clothing, equipment. That would be really important. Speed, keep the speed for the tracks. Keep the speed for the tracks. When you don't get the car drivers and so on. Yes, Andy. So, yeah, appropriate gear for the time of the year, as you say. So you don't want to get too hot if you're riding with gear. Gore-Tex tends to be a good all-year-round breathable material, but you don't want to be cooking in the summer. I've got some fantastic denim jeans with all the body armour in. Great for the job. Wouldn't want to go travelling too far in them, but yeah, the correct gear for the time of the year. No answer to that, John. You've got to build your confidence up, but the benefit of a bike is you progress. So as you develop your riding, you'll feel more. You can overtake quite a lot quicker on a bike. So acceleration's quicker. But filtering and this sort of thing is great on a bike, but you build up your experience. So there's no right or wrong way. You'll know your abilities. You'll know your confident abilities. But how long you've been riding for as a new rider, you can look at further training to develop that. Good, Cedric. CBT a year ago, down in Kent, CB125R. Nice bikes, very nice bikes. Hondas, yeah. Honda CB125R, very, very nice. Phil, they are, yeah. I mean, I had a lad, and I'm going to put a YouTube up today. I've had Anthony straight on the big bike, 3 hours on all the slow speeds. 99%, 99.9% people get on the big bike. It is easier. The contact's better, and the bikes are so responsive. They do exactly what you tell them. 125 is very fidgety. So yes, get on the bigger bike and you will enjoy it. So yeah, so surprised Sophie let you out of the site. I would have thought she'd have got you signed up for that bigger bike. But you're over 24, Phil. Get your DAS done. You can ride a full license bike then. No L plates. You don't have to go silly and get 1200s. You can buy some great 650 bikes. Indeed, what we train on the MT-07 650s, we train on Honda CB 650s, we train on Kawasaki Z 650s, and we train on Suzuki mine's gone black, Yamaha, Suzuki. Yeah, that's it, the four of them. MT-07, CB 650, Z 650, SV 650. They're the popular. Great to hear, Charles. That's what we like. Looking forward to it. All of our big bikes, yeah, they should have. I think there's one or two haven't, but I've got 53 bikes now. But all the big bikes, A2As, have heated grips. See how we look after you, people. We look after you on your lessons. Heated grips to keep your hands nice and warm. Cedric, yep. There's gotta listen. Why not? Airbag. They've come along so well over the last few years. They really have come along. Anything like that, why not? Yep. It's your peace of mind. I remember I think about 10 years ago trying some on. They are so heavy, so expensive, but times are moving on. So absolutely. Overtake in the chevrons, John. So solid white lines, don't want to do it. Dotted white lines, yeah. I mean, listen, you can dotted white lines, but generally chevrons are there as a warning, aren't they? So always be aware of what they're warning you. Is it junctions and stuff like that? So that's what you need to be. That's roadcraft. Good evening, Mr. Graham Cook, the chief. The chief is in the house. The chief has joined the house. I was feeling a bit lonely, Graham. We were feeling a little bit lonely. Charles, yeah, they are. Not, as I say, 99% of people get on the big bike and they do think it's easier. It's a lot more comfortable, a lot more stable. The weight, the biggest thing is the weight. They get a bit, but keep that bike upright when you're stopping. If you're stopping and starting in the control position, you will not feel that weight. of chat room activity going on. Thank you very much. Do not forget, ladies and gents, to like the video. Yeah, keep commenting away. It really, really does help. It does help with the YouTube algorithms, and what happens then, it sort of spreads out, and it does help by reaching. Just get rid of a little bit of blurriness I'm getting tonight on it. That's better, I think. Anyway, what I would say is then, number one, you keep calm, your attitude, your physical well-being, and so on, as we've discussed. Number two, all your gear. Remember, there's so much gear out there. Visit J&S. Visit J&S. Tell them you're training with RJH, or they will look after you. Always give you a little bit of a discount. Speak to Adrian, and it's all good. Number three. So my number three top tips for a new rider is choosing your motorcycle. So my top tip would be choosing your motorcycle. And I have a great video on the YouTube channel, and that is about first big bikes and so on, but it doesn't even need to be a big bike. But you need to be comfortable on your bike. It's very, very important you feel comfortable. You don't want to be intimidated by your bike. So, yeah, and listen to him, listen to him, listen to her, but make your own decision. Ultimately, make your own decision. Yeah, what am I going to be riding it for? What am I going to be using it for? Where am I going on it? Because you can get sports bikes, custom bikes, touring bikes. There's so many different bikes for different lifestyles. So make sure you're getting a bike that suits you and what you're going to be doing. That would be my number three. I can remember many, many years ago, I taught somebody to ride a motorbike, and they came to do their lessons, and they'd already bought their bike. So they're coming along to learn to ride a bike, but they've already purchased their bike and they've got it at home in their garage. And as the conversation was sort of during the day, this person had bought a Yamaha R1, a sports bike, one of the fastest bikes on the road at that time. So for somebody that's learning to ride a bike, that's pretty ambitious. Now, as it progressed, and we wanted to know, so what is the bike going to be used for? At that time, the bike was going to be used for commuting. So they'd purchased this bike before they learnt to ride, a Yamaha R1 sports bike, one of the fastest road bikes. And they bought a bike, they wanted this bike for commuting. And I think it was commuting from Manchester to Preston, if I recall. And the conversation very, very quickly turned to the fact that, well, I think you find you've bought the wrong bike. That bike is not the right bike for what you want to use it for. And very quickly, that person had realised that that bike was not going to suit what they wanted it for. So my number three would be choose the right bike for your needs. Choose the right bike for your individual preference. Don't get intimidated. And I think going back, this person bought the bike because they liked the look of it. So just because a bike looks good, again, is it suitable for you, your requirements, and so on? So that would be my number 3 is the bike. So just bear with me a minute because I just need to move my dog. That's better. Andy, remember chatting to the guys in JNS, the amount of new riders they said had bought the Kawasaki H2s as new riders and returned them as they were too much for a new rider. Yeah, so quite a few H2s were purchased. Again, I suppose it's one of those that somebody likes the look of a bike and then the practicality of that bike, and you don't want to be intimidated by a bike. You want to be comfortable on riding the bike and so on. So, and you can build up to the bigger, faster bikes. There's no rush. Experience, get yourself experience is invaluable, and that would be my number 3. The bike. Don't just get it because it looks good. There will be plenty of them doing that, Liam. Graham, I think, could be doing it. Good evening, Stan. Stan Slavic. Hi, Rob. I have a question about hazard avoidance in the bend. When we have already committed leaning and getting the turn, which is the best way? Let's say, for instance, we are taking left turn. So if you're doing a left turn, you're going to be doing a left avoidance. So don't quite understand your question. Hazard avoidance in the bend when we have already committed leaning and getting the... So... Hi Rob, I have a question about hazard avoidance in the bend. You don't do a hazard avoidance in the bend, you have a bend before the hazard avoidance if you're talking about your test. Lots of videos on here, Stan, that can help you. Mod 1's live streams and so on. Have a look at those. But the bend on your module on your module 1 test, you want to be 20 miles an hour on the bend and then build up your speed to 32 miles an hour on your hazard avoidance. Okay, hope that helps you. A bit fuzzy tonight. Don't know why. Getting a bit of a fuzz tonight. What is going on? Anyway, settings all look good. Bought a bike before my test. When I did pass my test, I could ride my bike okay. The only thing was heavy and could hardly move it. Yeah, so it's, I think. Oh, I'm talking about a hazard on the road. So you're, sorry, did I not read that right? Hazard avoidance. So your hazard avoidance is what? I have a question about hazard avoidance in the bend when we have already committed leaning and getting the turn. Which is the best way? Let's say, for instance, we are taking left. So a left avoidance. Not quite sure I understand your question, Stan. Avoidance in the bend when we have already committed. So when you've already committed, you've committed. Avoidance, leave your brakes alone. Just close your throttle. Look where you want to go. Counter steer it if you need to. If you turn left, left, right, right. But yeah, I mean, that happens. You do have to avoid stuff at the last minute. That's why if you've done the Module 1 test, the hazard avoidance prepares you for that. It does help. Right, I'm going to put the light on. Maybe that's it. There we are. It's because it was dark. It was getting a bit dark. That's better, isn't it? Couldn't work it out why it was getting a bit. Well, listen, if you get an animal, if you get a rabbit, well, you're not going to. I don't know. Yeah, don't quite understand the question. Well done, Andy. Andy's got you, I think. Right, so that's my number 2, 3, the bike. One other thing, when somebody buys a bike for the first time, they've passed their test, they buy a bike, a lot of those first bikes, they change them quite quickly. And that's because it isn't what they thought it was. It didn't sort of satisfy what they needed it for. So they buy this bike because they looked at it, they liked it, and this sort of thing. And then it's not what they wanted, so they change it quite quickly. There's a lot of new riders do change the bikes quite quickly, so bear that in mind as well. A tip, do before you part with your hard-earned cash, do make sure that the bike is going to. Now, so number 1, personal, keep calm, personal health, personal well-being. Don't let conflicts get in the way. Don't let situations lead to conflict. Nice, safe, calm ride. Number 2 is your gear. So as we said, don't underestimate the importance of wearing the correct gear for the time of the year, for the journey, for the what you're going to be using it for. Number 3 is the bike. Yep, so that's also important. It's all really important stuff. So my number 4. This is what I would say for my number 4 for a new rider, and it's a new rider on a new bike, or could also, I would say, consider this if you buy a new bike and maybe you've been riding a little bit longer. As I said before when we opened up, what is classed as a new rider. So anybody that gets a new bike, always recommend learning how the brakes respond on your bike. And how I would say I would do this is on a weekend, go to or weekend evening or whatever, Sunday evening maybe, a supermarket car park or something where there's no activity, and get to know how your brakes operate, how effective are they. And you could be looking at, varying your speeds, trying some emergency stops, see how your brakes respond on your bike, because brakes on different bikes are going to be different. So, one of the most important things about being able to ride on your bike is being able to stop quickly and safely. So that's a real big recommendation for me, and that's number 4. And I can remember talking to an examiner in Atherton, and he was mentioning about, new riders should always find somewhere quiet, learn how your brakes operate, because of course ABS brakes and disc brakes are going to be working a bit differently to non ABS. So very, very important. So that's an important for me. And also I would say do them in different weather conditions. So do them on a nice day, and then when you get a wet day, go and have a practice on them. Get to know your brakes. Yeah, I suppose number 5. Number 5, I suppose, could be your slow speeds. Tyres, yeah, Andy, tyres need bedding in. I think slow speed's important on a new bike as well, because some, all bikes are going to be responding differently. Clutch is going to be differently, rear brakes differently. So slow speed would be a good one. So get to know, the sort of ability of your bike on braking, slow speeds. Again, you could do that in the car park on a weekend, or Sunday evening when there's nothing there. Just do figures of 8 and stuff like that. Get to know the bike and how it responds, because new bikes do respond in so many different ways. Let me know if I'm missing anything. Number 6 for me is a really important one, and it's something that we are, as a school, we have introduced, but I think number 6 should be, the maintenance of your bike. So get to know the basic mechanics of the bike and learn and be able to do all of those basic checks to keep it in tip-top condition. So as a new rider, get to know the mechanics of your bike and how to keep it in a fairly roadworthy condition. New bikes, yep, under warranty, take it back to the dealers, get all that. But, some basic stuff that you could do on your bike. And if you get an older bike, and we've now introduced owner maintenance classes and stuff like that. So it's one thing that we're trying to encourage trainees that come through the school to revisit and take up some owner maintenance classes. Of course, it comes back to things like, it's all about having the right tools. But having the understanding and knowledge is important, but the tools and the equipment is really, really important. So maintenance, I would say, for me, is number 6. So that's where I am with that. So that, I think, is my top 6 tips, top tips for new riders. When you've gone through the process of passing a Module 1 test at the moment, you're going to have a relatively good handling of your bike. So as a new rider, top tips wouldn't be how you ride it, because you should be at a level, but you always, I think I'm going to have a number 7. And we will go through all these again and recap on the headings. But my number 7 would be have an open and honest approach to further development. Further development. because what we do find, there's a percentage of people that will come through and buy and get their bike test and pass a test, and then they think that's it. So, 25-year-old come in, not just 25, 21, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50. We get all ages of trainees. And the majority will come and pass their test, and they think that is it then. Like a car driver, I've passed my test in 1982. Nobody has ever looked at my driving since. That's not nothing to be proud of. Yes, you've got experience, but what bad habits have you got? So I would certainly say that have an open and honest approach to further development, and you can never stop learning. Always learn from every experience. Always analyse your ride. So on a daily basis, analyse, think back, what could I have done differently, what I wasn't happy with, and always consider further development. It could be something as simple, Charles, as okay, I've not ridden a motorbike on the motorway. We can tailor make pretty much any further development training. Overtaking. So we can teach you a bit of overtaking. Bend assessment, execution of bends. We can give you some further development. So we can bespoke further development training for you. But also we can provide advanced training, so we can teach you for further training. But the key there is always have an open and honest approach to your own personal development, further development, because on a bike you do need to be tip-top form. Yeah, tip-top form. So that would be my number 7. You never stop learning. So there you go, AWA. So every ride I see is a new lesson. Absolutely. He's done the IAM skills, bike safe. Yeah, there's a lot of counties do different courses. Bike safe, those sorts. You want to have a few miles under your belt. Pass your test. You don't want to go straight in for those. But further training is important, and quite often we get somebody. We get provisional license holders, so youngsters, boys and girls, they don't drive a car, so they come straight in and got their bike license, but they've never been on the motorway. They've never been the driver on the motorway. So yeah, invest a bit of time into it. That would be my advice. So that's my top tips for a new rider. That is my top tips of a new rider. 7. Yeah, I only had 6, but no, 7. Got 7 there. Quite a lot of activity then in that chat room. Well done. Thanks very much, everybody. 49 minutes, 12 people liking, 10 people watching currently. I think we had 14, I think. Yeah, Charles. So we do advanced. We can tailor make anything. Although historically, I'd say the last one we did about 2019-20 was 4-day workshops up to Scotland. We used to go, but certainly want to do. I think there's a few of us at the school want to go up and do the NC 500, but we'll open up some more advanced workshops. So if you fancy a couple of nights up in Scotland, then we've got something for you. Yeah, common injuries. I mean, hopefully you're not going to get any common injuries. But what? So um, you don't want to be coming off or getting knocked off. So that's where you need to go back to staying calm. Make sure you're fit and healthy. Make sure that you're not had an argument at home. Stay in tip-top condition. Good evening, Dean Roberts. Don't worry, mate. Kickboxing. That sounds exciting, doesn't it? I think I've talked about that before. I wouldn't mind having a go at that myself, but I'm a bit old, I think. I don't think I would last very long in any kickboxing. But that would be interesting, wouldn't it? Kickboxing. Yeah, so what common injury? I suppose back. You can hurt your back if you take the bikes on and off the stand correctly. Twists, yeah, could maybe pull a muscle getting on and off the bike. Maybe repetitive, your arms and wrists could maybe, or the riding position on your bike might not be suitable for your body type. So, yeah, numb bum. You know, the saddle might not be very comfortable. And also, yeah, if you're traveling long distance and your bike's not got any wind deflection or it's a naked, but you can actually, your whole body can feel quite battered and bruised, like you've been kickboxing there with Dean Roberts. You do feel the elements. So position 3 when turning left. Yeah, you change 1, 2, 3. That's advanced. Straight line it if you can see the road, as long as it's not a solid white line. Roundabout, straight line them. Lots of other things at this level. Learning to ride DFA, DVSA, passing the test. We don't do that, but further development. And it's really just getting in the best possible position to give you the best view and considered to be safe. It's all about forward planning and assessing the what ifs and stuff like that, the benefits. But yeah, you've got the three positions, 1, 2, and 3. Yeah, good point, Andy. So let's recap on the my top tips then for you ladies and gents just coming into biking, so new riders. My top tips would be number 1, stay calm. Stay calm. Well-being, make sure you are in good health. Make sure you are calm and not hyped up, route home, that sort of thing. And number 2, the right gear for the conditions. So, good thing about the live stream, you can always play it back. We did talk in a bit more detail, but yeah, right gear for the conditions, for the time of the year, and so forth. Don't ride without it. Wear the correct gear. Think of those 3 objectives: protection, keep warm, and keep dry. Number 3, very, very important, I put down as the bike. So don't be intimidated by your bike. Make sure it fits you correctly and make sure you're comfortable on it, because you want to develop yourself. You don't want a bike that's going to scare you. You don't want to be scared of that bike. And don't listen to people. Make your own decisions. Make your own decisions. Don't just go for a bike because it looks good. Is it practical to your needs? Once you got your bike, let's think about going and having a play in a quiet car park and make sure you are comfortable with the responsiveness of the brakes. Get to know the brakes on that bike. One of the most important things about being able to ride a bike is being able to stop, and how quickly and safely you can stop. So do check those brakes out, and alongside that, your slow speed. Slow speed on this bike, slow speed on that bike is going to be different. So get used to your clutch, your rear brake, get used to the weight of the bike, turning it. So I would certainly say number 4, braking. Number 5 are your slow speed. Number 6, basic maintenance. As a new rider, my top tip number 6 would be maintenance. Make sure you know the basics and save yourself a few pennies if you are able to do a bit. So I would certainly say get to know your bike and get to know the basics. Yeah, new bikes, you want to get the dealer stamp for the service, for warranty, and that sort of thing. But once you've done, and yeah, that's absolutely do it. Respect the bike, respect it. Don't be intimidated. You don't want to be intimidated by the bike. And yeah, quite often the first bike that you do buy, you will change it because it isn't the bike. It doesn't do it. It just doesn't satisfy. It doesn't, you know, as that little story I said about the sports bike for commuting, not ideal. So maintenance is a good one. And number 7, a further development. So be open and honest to yourself, and always be open to learn. You know, always be open to have somebody look at your riding. And none of us like that, but have somebody look at your riding and help you improve. And you know, take it from there. So you know, that would be my top tips for new riders. Hope you've liked that video. Looking at doing a biker down course, local fire brigades. Yeah, the councils, local councils, fire brigades, police, all generally do start bike related. I mean, you can get serving police with bike safe. I think AW8 did it, where you get a serving police motorcyclist will take you out for an hour and have a look at your riding and give you some tips. So, a lot of this is free. You know, just give them a donation, I think, for their fuel or something. I don't know how they work it. The council, I think we've got all of the instructors at RGH have got a bikers down course booked over the next month, and that's the fire service doing it. And our plan is, as motorbike instructors, all of our motorbike instructors, what we want to be able to promote is that we all have attended the biker down course, which I think would be another reason to come to RJH for your training. So that is me pretty much done. So that is me pretty much done. How have we done then? Have we enjoyed that? Who saw our video? 9,000 subscribers. So we have 9,000 subscribers. Important milestone. We're not interested in, it's quality for us, so we're not interested. I'm not getting hung up about more subscribers. But it was worth a mention. 9,000 subscribers milestone. So we're very happy with that. So thank you all very much for your continued support. I'm quite happy with that 9,000 subscribers. None tonight though. Not had anybody subscribed tonight. So must all be already on and done. So Sunday evening back. Sunday evening Bob the Biker. Next Wednesday. So any topic anybody would be interested in for next Wednesday. So a week today. Any topic that would be of interest, let me know. Yeah, let me know any particular topic for next Wednesday. I know we've had a busy week since coming back from Spain, but I know we've got the bike mechanic, and I want to start filming him doing some of his jobs, oil changes, brake pads on, whatever. But so some maintenance videos to come. We have got I mean, I was even thinking about a live stream. I don't know how it would work, so it'll be a bit of an experiment. Keep on about that, don't we, AW8? The new highway code rules. I need to get out on my bike, get the camera up, and go out and find some busy junctions and stuff. And it is on my list, and it's just finding time. But the live streams for next week, and I've not got any footage, so that's what I really want for that one. But I was thinking about a live stream for. So we've got the owner maintenance workshops coming up, but we've got an evening where all the centre managers are going to have 3 hours with our mechanic, just to go through what we as a school should be doing on a daily basis. So that could be. I just wonder if I can get the live stream set up in the garage, or we could say steel shipping container, but it is a workshop. Good setup. We're going to try and get something there. Well, maybe AW8. How would you feel? How are you on camera? How are you? I could invite you in to my live stream. How would you feel about that? And then I could invite you into the live stream, and you could talk to everybody about the highway code rules. So if I was to get some footage, how would that work? If you would be interested, I could do that. Because I can invite anybody into this live stream. If you remember when I first got this software, I was getting quite a lot of people into the live streams, but it's gone a bit quiet on that. But I have thought about getting different people again involved in it, so you don't have to just look at my ugly mug. You could have a bit of variation. I'm still yet to get Sylvia into the live stream. Sophie's done well, she's been in. Graham's done well, John's done well. Still not cracked Sylvia just yet. And Charlie's done well. He's been getting into the live streams. Yeah, that's it. I was down your way Sunday, Liam. I was at the back of the football stadium. So on Sunday morning, I was at the back of the football stadium looking at vans. There's Bristol Street Motors, and there's a van place next door or over the road. So I was looking at a van, just waiting for them to get back to me because I am in the market for a new van. So yeah, I was down in the Potteries. Ah, you only have a phone. Don't know how that would work on your phone. But I could give you a bit of what we could have a little play around, try one night. Don't have to do a like, just play, just try it, see how it comes out. Put your thinking cap on. You've not got a computer at AW8. That's what you want, is a nice little Apple Mac. That's what I use, Apple Macs. If you've got green screen. Still looking for a van, Andy. It's a bloody minefield out there. Second-hand vans, it's a minefield. I know what I want. I know what size van I want, but then I could spend hours in an evening looking at bloody vans. You just don't know what you're getting. Don't know what you're getting. So then I'm thinking, well, maybe then I should be buying new. If I don't know what I'm getting, maybe I should be getting new. But it is a minefield. Yeah. So I'll if anybody, any of our regular viewers want to join in on the live stream, and you can play back some of the ones that we've done. Sophie's been in, Graham's been in, John's been in, Charlie's been in. If there's a subject you think our viewers would benefit from, then let's talk. Let's talk. I'm looking for a H2L3. Andy. I'm looking for a H2L3. If that, you need to be in van terms. You need to know what it is. Well, listen, I quite fancy, John, the Ford Transit Customs, but I'm not going to get. I need to get 4 bikes in, so it needs to be L3, H2. So if you're thinking of the Peugeot Boxer, Citroen Relay, Ford Transit H2L3, the VW Crafter, Mercedes Sprinter. So I suppose those are the 5. Ford Transit H2L3, VW Crafter, Mercedes Sprinter, Citroen Relay, Peugeot Boxer. They are the 5. Any one of those 5. My preference would be black, a black one. Second would be a silver. But if all else fails, I would go for white. Those are my choices. I'm not fussy at all, but there is a lot of rubbish out there. I mean, some of them are bloody 200,000 miles on them round the clock. Well, I'd like something under 50,000 miles. Don't fancy anything that's gone round the clock. But I am looking. I continue to be looking. And one day I will pounce and I will get one. So one day I will get one. What's STBX, AW8? What is STBX? So, it is about that time. It's about that time to go. Oh, right, yes, of course. Soon to be ex-wife. Right, I get you. Getting your own bachelor pad then, AWA. Good man. Can have a few more bites then. Yeah, hour and 10 minutes. Okay, ladies and gents, time for me to go. And come up with something for next week, next Wednesday, and see how it goes. But as always, thanks very much for participating. Thanks very much for commenting away. And yeah, so I will be checking in Sunday night, Board Biker. Until then, ladies and gents, all the very best, and see you all very soon. Bye for now.